Hey, it's Christopher, and welcome back to another episode of Take Five, where we take a topic, break it down in 5 parts, and do it in under 5 minutes. Sometimes. Before we get into this video, let's roll that beautiful B-roll. Hey, Christopher here, and in this episode, we're talking about the 5 reasons we use Calendly as our scheduling tool. So if you don't know what Calendly is, it's a service that integrates with your calendar, your Google or Microsoft, and allows individuals to get a unique link, sometimes for a duration of time or a specific purpose, and schedule time where it allows them to basically pick the time that they want to contact you at or have a meeting with you. The great thing for you is that you don't have to go back and forth. They just pick it, it's integrated directly with your calendar, and so it only offers times that are available on your calendar. So let's talk about number one, why we do it. The big one is, I call it logistics Tetris. It's so hard to go back and forth offering times and days. Now, for me, I'm a consultant, so everything in my world is calendar based. I started doing that a long time ago with Pocket PC, and just if someone wanted to meet with me, I didn't want to forget about it and say, oh yeah, we'll do lunch, and just sort of throw out a time, not really looking at my calendar and paying attention to whether or not I was available. So as the years gone on, and as a contractor and a consultant, I'm working with lots of different people for lots of different purposes. And I work within different organizations. So it became a little maddening where it becomes stressful because you're offering a time, they don't get back to you, it takes them a couple days, and you offer that time to someone else, and then they finally reach back out and say, I want to use that time, and now it's already booked, and now you got to explain, you got to change the time. I'm getting stressed out just talking about this. That's the point of Calendly. It gets rid of that. They pick a time that's available for you and for them, and that's it. And it's on there, it's emailed to them, they're notified, and you see it on your calendar and you're notified. And honestly, it's just a really clean transaction. So no more logistical Tetris. Number two, it gives folks agency. The big thing about what I do is people feel like when they email a ticketing system and they can't reach you by text or phone, that there's this disconnection. The problem is I'm 100% customer facing. All I ever do is spend direct time with people. So it's really challenging to reach me by cell phone or by text because, well, if I'm answering that phone call or text, I'm not fully engaged with the person that I'm with. And I feel like people deserve 100% of my attention, not 60% of it. So it allows them to be able to email for us, a ticketing system where everyone in my team gets it, but then specifically request a person, whether it be me or someone else, and their time. And the good news is we publish all of our calendars. If one of us is not available, they can go pick a time with another person, which is great. This is actually how I figure out whether I can schedule meetings with my own staff, because I know that they're helping people and doing filming, and they're doing life coaching, and they're doing support. So it's just really great. It gives people agency to be able to schedule that time and not have to worry about waiting to get that support and hearing a call back. They can be super proactive. The third one, and it's so important, is mental health. When you own a business, or if you're doing work that is just nonstop and super demanding, you can feel like there is more work than time in the day. That weighs on you. For a long time, I got email notifications on my phone, and I don't actually anymore. If I didn't have a computer in front of me the majority of the day, I wouldn't actually know that I'm getting texts or emails. I had a bit of PTSD because customers they would call me at like 7 in the morning, or when I was at dinner with family and friends, or on the weekends when I was trying to spend time and be present with my wife. And it just became super intrusive to allow people to email, text, and just kind of use all these mechanisms. And this led to just really a bad attitude. And honestly, like every single time my phone rang, I had a sense of dread. And so by moving all that to a ticketing system, and then of course using Calendly as a part of that solution, this mitigated sort of direct access, allowing me to be sick, off, present with family and friends. And it gave me back a lot of my mental health, where now people know exactly when I'm available. And if I'm not available on my calendar, I don't want to overcommit just to make someone happy at the cost of making someone else unhappy in my life. So for me, it improved my mental health. The fourth thing is protecting your time. I don't think in terms of just the final thing that I've done and what I've accomplished. I think in the time that it takes. I think that's partly being a consultant and billing per hour, that it gives me a high priority for that time. And so for me, when someone's using Calendly, it helps emphasize that things are being planned for that hour, and that hour means something. And so whether it be things that we're getting ready to do before a meeting or things that we have to do after a meeting, Calendly really puts a level of emphasis on that time and make sure that folks take the time and make the time to be ready for a meeting. So for me, when you start moving to a calendar based sort of way of accomplishing things, it gives a sense of weight and scale to how much you're investing in certain things. So for me, I love Calendly because it gives a weight to that hour. It gives an intention. It's no longer haphazard, can we meet? It's something that was planned, thought out, and you want to make the most of it when you do meet with someone. So Calendly really makes everything a little more formal. And I think sometimes there's a room for informal meetings, certainly. But if there's a lot of things riding on that meeting, or a lot of things took effort to get a lot of people in a room to do a thing at a time, I think it just emphasizes and brings weight to that time that you set. Number 5, I think it does something additional to giving weight. It's accountability. A lot of people, you've heard people say, don't waste my time. I think when you take the act of scheduling, now there's this whole thing where I'm having a hard time reaching you, or hey, can't you answer the phone? And again, it goes back to this reality that I owe people my full attention. And whenever we do set aside time, it's super important that we are making an effort to make the most of that. And when you begin to schedule it, there's something about that it's no longer I told you to meet, it's that you took time to schedule it and do all these things. And there's a burden of responsibility that comes with that. There's a weight of accountability that comes with that. And we're not just occupying people's time, we're not just taking up people's time, but we are all making time for this thing to happen, and that there's equal responsibility both on my end and whoever's scheduling time with me. And I think that's really important. Again, in what I do, I'm billing per hour. So just throwing around times often can be a little bit flippant, but when someone is taking the time, I think there's a seriousness to it. It gives everyone a chance to prepare and know that it's coming up, but it also gives responsibility for that it's not just a one-sided affair of, oh, well, you're the vendor, you were supposed to do all this stuff, I just said I was able to meet. But there's a sense that, oh, well, I've got to do some things to get ready for that meeting as well. So I really think that Calendly for me, for all of these reasons, was huge. It was a game changer. We used to have a lot of problems with people canceling meetings just flippantly and off the cuff. We used to have a lot of problems where people didn't understand there was a financial transaction with our time, or the fact that I have a lot of things that I'm doing. I'm the last person to ever tell people that I'm busy, but I have limited bandwidth. And when we started using Calendly, the respect for my time went up a lot higher, because I'm a people person. I'm all about helping people, but folks would just not show up prepared, or think, oh, well, let's just do it tomorrow, when I may have multiple days blocked out where I'm not available to meet for maybe another week. And so it brought a level of seriousness and awareness that, not that I'm that important, but I'm doing everything I can to help as many people as I can, and I have to plan for that. So I love Calendly. It's not the service for everyone, and there's lots of alternatives, but if you're trying to wrangle your time and you're trying to get things really focused, then Calendly is an excellent solution. We hope you enjoy this content. What are your thoughts on this? How are you managing all of your requests for your time in your calendar? Do you have an assistant doing it? Are you using another service? Are you doing it over text, over email? How's it working for you, and is it working? We'd love to hear in the comments below. If you like this content, go ahead and hit that like button on the video, crush the subscribe button to see more content like it, and hit the notification bell to stay up to date with everything we're producing. As always, we hope you're doing well. We hope you're staying safe. We'll see you in the next one.